Hello everybody, I'm JB, most of you know me as Drop the Die. I just wanted to do a really quick intro to this video to tell you I am very busy right now. I have not even had time to read the book myself yet, but I thought that I would give you a flip through of von Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. And it's gonna be a little messy. I'm not a videographer, I'm barely even a photographer. I write. So all of this is just to try and enhance your experience and, maybe assuage some of your fears. So I hope you like it. I tried to film it dark and moody, even though I know I'm probably very bright from this ring light right now, if you can even see my eyes. But I hope you like it. There's going to be a version with me recording a commentary track over top to tell you kind of what we're looking at as we flip through the book. There's going to be a version where I'm not talking at all. I'll link that in the description. And if you like either one, give it a like, tell me you enjoyed it. I'll be happy to do it for further books. If you do not, I'll probably not be doing this again. This is so much work. I don't know how YouTubers do it. Okay, well, bye. Von Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Now, I'm not going to be showing every page of the book. I feel like that's unfair to the people that made it. Ravenloft is a widely renowned and well-loved setting. This one dives into more of the domains of dread as they stand. I think that it could have used a different name, but Ravenloft gets people's attention, so I see why they did it. Again, you can pause and check out the full table of contents. We're not going to go over every page. The introduction, the Welcome to Ravenloft, it reads kind of like a journal in some senses. It even has a bunch of different notes and stuff like that. It reads really, really well. The domains and the dark powers, the dark lords of those domains, even the mists, and how to kind of mix your players into this environment. Character creation has a whole lot of stuff in it, including lineages, which would be races and other publications by WotC. The origins, I think, are probably the strongest. Dark gifts you're not going to see a lot of use of outside of the domains of dread, but they are interesting. The subclasses can be hit or miss. I'll write more about them in my full review, but on first reading I don't want to make any snap decisions. More about the Dark Lords and the genres of horror. This is a very interesting portion of the book. I think that it'll help fledgling DMs, especially those that don't know the difference between cosmic horror, the great old ones in Cthulhu, and stuff like gothic horror, which you would find with the works of Edgar Allan Poe. Being able to differentiate the two will help you talk to your players and navigate kind of what to expect in those types of stories. Anything that puts the players and DM on the same page, I'm game for. It sounds like a great idea. Now, there are 12 domains fully fleshed out and written in the book, and 22 domains that are just kind of spoken about in very small snippets. There are rules surrounding them, Barovia, of course, starting the book off. The rules surrounding the domains and how they work, and the interesting tidbits for Barovia, these charts are actually pretty great. But it doesn't tell you anything that you wouldn't find in Curse of Strahd, which I think is fair. The domain of alien memories goes in. Oh, look at these maps. The full color. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's the Desire and Deserts. Desire and Deceits. What I really love, this creepy art. What I really love about what they did this time around is they made sure to keep the flavor very different. The Carnival domain feels far removed from Barovia, even though you find echoes of that same thing, Darkholm. Echoes of that same thing in Curse of Strahd. So I think that the book sets people up to make more of their own decisions. Another gorgeous map, look at that. Some of the art I think is exceptional. Some of it's a little drab by comparison to some of the previous releases. The maps, though, please never change. These maps look amazing. Each location, each of these new domains of dread, they stick to a single theme. Like this one, I believe, is mummies, ancient dead. And it does a lot to pull from the mythology around that. So your zombie siege isn't going to feel like Hasland that's just destroyed by magical effects and stuff like that. I think that keeping those delineations and those places, look at that worm, that's cool as hell. And keeping those delineations and these locations separate by theme was a great choice. That was a good design decision by Wizards of the Coast. I can't speak to who was brought on to write for each individual section, but there are a lot of opportunities that I hope they brought on new blood, new people to tell new stories, because some of these are written so well, speaking about Asian vampires, speaking about mummies. Hopefully they can keep that ball rolling well into the future and bring on people, Egyptian writers to write about mummies and desert curses. Here's a Frankenstein-inspired place, which is always fantastic. Brain in a jar, which is always fantastic. Again, you're going to be getting a lot of use, more out of the themes and styles for these locations than you are hard rules, hard and fast things to throw at your players. So, in terms of how much you're going to get out of the book, it depends on how much you like to massage things and make your own story out of it. I feel like any one of these domains could span an entire book and it wouldn't really tell you everything. But by giving you 3 or 4 pages, they can offer more domains and hopefully spark your interest. It may be bad for fledgling DMs. They may struggle to try and find enough to spin a tale with. And I hope that no one tries to take one party and send them to all 12 of these domains. They're so unique and so different. Here we have the 22 additionals. They're usually 1 or 2 paragraphs, but it's just enough to kind of spark your interest and maybe make you think about taking people there. More rules for traveling through the mists that surround the domains and the people therein. There's the Vistani from Curse of Strahd. All of this is great. More NPCs to throw at your players from other locations, including von Richten, who we all know and love. And here's a chapter 4 is based around horror adventures and how to essentially pitch the idea to your players and how to pull it off. Customizing and discussing the genres is always very helpful. There's even a little blurb about basically aftercare, how you're supposed to bookend any horror adventure with fun and silliness to keep people's morale up. You don't want to be doom and gloom the entire time you're playing. Haunted traps, there's some really creepy stuff in here I really liked. If you haven't been able to tell, I don't want to show all of these adventures, so I'm going to flip through multiple pages pretty quickly. And there's not a whole lot of page count devoted to any one topic, which I think is good in a way, and it's also a little difficult. Love the art and the wheelchair. They do need to bring on Mustang Art to talk about combat wheelchair officially, or I will never give them credit. And now we made it into the bestiary. Final thoughts as we kind of flip through and look at the book. It's good, I like the creatures, I like the settings, I like giving a toolkit to fledgling DMs so that they know what they're getting into and how to tell a horror story. But 5e is so difficult to scare people with. They're all so powerful. You'll have to check this book out, and the spirit board is absolutely gorgeous. I also have to give it credit for the back and front covers, which I think just look marvelous. Even the normal edition. I think I like the normal edition better than the special edition. Special edition looks kind of muted. But that's your flip through. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone.